you spend so much time against each other in training camp, you're beating on each other, and after a while, you don't know if you're as good as you think you are or you're as bad as you think you are. I mean, it's just one of those things that until you start playing other people and you have some sort of idea about, what you are. And I think, the first 3 games, because of the tests and the degrees of where we're going and the traveling and all that, that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see coming out of that, going into the bye game about where we are and where we should be. It's not another game. I mean, it's that's my alma mater. I spent years there as a coach, as a player, and I won championships with that team. Those coaches, some coaches on that the staff that I was unable to take when I came here, but I have a lot of respect for those coaches and the players. As you said, Dr. Erdairs, who was here before, the president there, along with Jim Miller, the AD, gave me an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful for that. But as things happen, sometimes opportunities and doors open that you take the most of an opportunity, and now I'm here wearing the orange and blue, and so my priorities now are to the University of Virginia and making sure that we're ready to play, and as we hopefully coincide with what the captains wanted to do as far as our first goal of this year was to hopefully win a home opener. So pre-game, they'll probably they may not want to talk to me, so I understand. And after the game, hopefully, I remember when I was here before and left and went to Richmond as a head coach. Before the game it was kind of chilly because you're getting ready to play, but after the game, it was just out of the mutual respect and love that you have for the people you spend a lot of time with, that that the embraces and the well wishes. So hopefully it'll be the same type of atmosphere before and after the game. Mark has done a great job of handling the offense and making the plays and running the offense. Now it's going to be on him to make the throws, to be efficient, to distribute the ball, not to make mental errors, not to force throws, and just kind of manage things. He's a fifth-year guy. He's been in a lot of games, and he should do that. The tricky part was choosing that second quarterback. I mean, no one between Ross and Michael Rocco really have separated themselves from each other. So with that being in mind, both of them are listed on the same line. And it just all depends on how the game is going, which one will go in the game. And that'll be determined as the game goes on. So we're looking for a clear second, but, we don't have it right now. We have 2 guys that are on the same line, and they're going to have to compete even this week, to find out who will be the first to go in the game should anything happen to Mark. Well, I know he came from, USC, and he played in 3 games, and, he's a highly recruited, player, for that school, and is a great get, for Richmond, for him to transfer there. So I know they have a quarterback that's talented, that's, coming out of high school, everybody wanted him. And so it's probably upgraded, their ability to do a lot of things that I know Wayne Lindenberg wants to do with the ball. So we're going to have to, we're going to have to do what we need to do to hopefully minimize, any opportunities for him to spend a lot of time back there. So, but it was a great gift for them, and I'm sure he's made their whole offense better by having an experienced quarterback. With special teams, it's a one-play type of deal, and if you're not at your best in that one play, the punt return, punt, kickoff return, then you're susceptible to, poor field position or gaining an advantage. And this year, this team, we need all the advantages we can get, and so we're going to try to put the best players in those positions to help us out. Raynard has done a great job of doing the things that I've asked him to do over the summer, academically, socially, from a football standpoint. And he's moved himself and put himself in a position where he warrants that close look at, hey, listen, he may be the starter on game day. We're going to put the ball in his hands, obviously on the kickoff returns. He's done things in practice and in scrimmages that, have made you take a double take on him. Anthony Poindexter, our special teams coordinator, said a couple years ago he was the MVP. Special teams wise. So we're looking for that competitor, that guy. And thankfully for us, he showed up, here during the summer and into the early part of August. Max has done a great job in being a fullback and playing the role that fullbacks, need to play in a two-back offense, being able to block isolation on the linebacker, being able to slip out into the flats, being able to protect, when teams are blitzing, being able to run the short yardage belly plays. A lot of things that fullbacks do. Max has done a pretty good job in challenging Terrence Fell's dancer and maybe have surpassed him, slightly, but nonetheless, because of what he did and what he's done in practice, he's been recognized as being a guy that we think we can win with. So it's made the competition again in that area for both of those guys. It's heated it up quite a bit. As an edge player, I think it suits his skills and his ability. Now, if he were still a 3-4, nose tackle or defensive end, that'd be probably tougher for him. But he's done a great job of playing on the edge and the things that Coach Hansen has taught him, be able to use his hands well, and he is a kind of a up the field, aggressive kind of guy, and so we'll be excited to see how that can transition into actually playing against another opponent. Zane has kind of been the quiet guy. He's not very doesn't pound his chest or anything like that. He's just kind of very unassuming, but he plays a defensive end position, plays it well, and now he has to step up into more of the light of, hey, listen, you got to make sacks, tackles for losses. You got to do well against the run, against the pass, because you're more so now, if not an every down player, but you're one of the guys now we got to count on to making plays. You're not a reserve coming in or on just the nickel team, and now you got to play as many plays as possible to help us. You look at a young man like O'Day, who played in some games, but now he's a starter. So his acceleration, his learning, has got to go fast. It's got to be where he's playing on a high caliber level. It's like, you're going to take your lumps, with him, but he's got to play. Mahalik, Pastor, B.J. Cabell, Anthony Mahota, same thing. He was behind Jack Shields, and now he's the guy. Now he's the one that's calling protections and things like that. So his level has got to accelerate to a position that's going to allow us to give us a chance to win, give us a chance to compete. So it is still relatively a fairly young offensive line, but that's just football. It's college football. Weight room and birthdays. Those are the things that get those O-line guys, bigger, faster, and stronger. And we have who we have right now, and you address those issues by recruiting. And so we'll continue to do that and keep trying to bring in good offensive linemen, because offensive linemen have been good around here.